I shared a few weeks ago with you an opportunity that we had to provide some resources for a group that were going into Iraq to provide some support for the Christian communities there. Some of the oldest Christian communities in the world reside in the Muslim part of the Middle East. And they are under enormous pressure these days from ISIS and other things. And when I say pressure, I don't simply mean they can't pray in schools. They are fleeing for their lives. And we're going to give you a bit of an update that this morning. The woman who put that initiative together is with us, Charmaine Hedding. And I've asked her if she would come and share a bit of that story with you. But before we do that, I want to show you just a very brief, it's about 90 seconds, video clip of some of what you helped to make possible with your generosity a few weeks ago. Help me welcome Charmaine Hedding.
Good morning. This time last week I was in northern Iraq with the Christians who had fled ISIS. And I stand here today to bring you a message from them. I was with a community of Christians who had come from the Nineveh Plains, which is a region in central Iraq that dates its time back to the time of Abraham. These people speak Aramaic. It's the same language that Jesus spoke. When they talk about Jesus, they call him Yeshua. And they told me a story. They said to me that ISIS had come in the middle of the night, and the priest had realized, the local pastor had realized that the community was in grave danger, and he took his congregation and they ran. And they ran with what they had on their back, and they didn't have very much. It was in the summer. It was hot in Iraq. And they fled into northern Iraq with absolutely nothing. Many of them said to me that first, when ISIS came into the communities like in Mosul, they were told that they could pay a jizra, or a tax, a dhimmi tax, because they were Christians, convert to Islam, or die. By the 6th of August, ISIS had entered cities like Mosul. They were beheading the Christians. Many of them saw their relatives' throats slit in front of them. And the Christian community started to escape, as many as they could. I was in this small village with this local priest, and he said to me that there were 135 families that were left, and they managed to make it out. And he said to me that many of them are educated, doctors, engineers, but now they have nothing. They are living in conditions that are absolutely terrible. Many of them are in refugee camps. Some of them have gone into other Christian villages. But the thing that struck me about them was that there were others that they took with them so that they can also be safe, other minorities in Iraq. And we came and we gave them aid, but they insisted that we also help and give aid to the other communities that they'd brought with them. And it was such a witness and a testimony to talk to them. They had gone through so much. One of the couples told me they had 5 children. The youngest one is 3 years old. And when they fled, the children managed to get out, the older children, before her and her husband. Her husband is blind. And they never thought that ISIS would take their 3-year-old daughter. But ISIS did. They stopped them. They took the child. They considered themselves lucky to escape, but they have no idea what's going to happen to that 3-year-old. There are many stories like that. There are thousands of girls and young girls, 9, 10, 11, 12, that we're working with in northern Iraq who were caught by ISIS, used as sex slaves, sold into marriages, and some of them have managed to escape. These are some of the stories that we're hearing. One of the programs that we were running while we were there was not only just helping the Christians to continue to be a witness and a testimony by giving aid through the church out into their local community, including the Christian community, but also we bought a German-Israeli Association of Doctors, and we were able to help train local doctors to help with some of these very young girls as young as 9, who some of them said that they'd lost count by lunchtime how many times they'd been abused. We also have done widespread projects with blankets and food into the different Christian areas. And many of the Christians said to me, "Who are you and where are you from? Where does this come from?" Because we've lost everything. And if we didn't have people like you helping us, what would we do? And I said to them, well, it's churches like this, like World Outreach Church, that have given some of the finances and support to make this possible. And they said to me, we have nothing, we have lost everything, but we still have Jesus. But if the church in America forgets us, we have nothing. So at this Christmas time, I pray that you would also remember the church in Iraq. Keep praying for them and keep praying for the Christians in the Middle East.